Field now rolling off for a handful of preliminary laps while the cars are doubled up. Let's take a look at tonight's Sioux Chief Power Picks starting lineup. Cole Denton and Trevor Huddleston on the front row. Keep an eye on that second row as well, folks. Kern winner Mason Massey alongside Kern pole winner Jade Avedizian in row number 2. Robbie Keneally and Haley Deegan back there in row 3. Great qualifying run for Tyler Tomasi in the number 51. One of the Strike Mamba cars alongside Mia Lovell there in row number 4. Her teammate Julian DaCosta alongside Bonnie Rookie Spotlight driver Gavin Ray. Memphis Villarreal alongside last year's runner-up at Tucson, Eric Johnson Jr., filling out row number 6. Will Robinson alongside Andrew Chapman back there in row 7. Quinn Davis, a regular in the ARCA Menards East. She's from Tucson. She made the trip out here to hop into Joe Nava's number 77 alongside Eric Reed. And David Smith in the 05 rounding out tonight's 17 car starting grid. Take a look at the keys to victory here tonight. Managing tires going to be really important. And I expect we're going to see some green flag runs here tonight. You're going to want to stay on the lead lap throughout those green flag runs and perhaps catch a caution. And then I'm going to tell you, and I can't overstate this enough, manage your tires. We'll talk about how that paid off last year for Tanner Wright in just a few moments. Here's some track facts here at Tucson Speedway. We're located right here in Tucson, Arizona. The track opened in 1968, 3/8 of a mile the distance. Banking 3 degrees at the bottom, all the way up to 9 degrees at the top. Some of the big events they have here, in addition to the ARCA Menards West, the Chili Willy 150 raced at this racetrack every January. Some interesting history. This was one of the inaugural tracks back when the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series started back in 1995. As a matter of fact, they ran 3 exhibition races, part of Winter Heat, back in the old TNN days here back in 1994. I remember watching those races. This racetrack was cool then. It's cool now. I'm excited to get this show on the road here tonight. Just a couple of more preliminary laps, and we will get set to go racing. 150 laps the distance here tonight. No race analysis tonight because there's really nothing to analyze. We're going to go 150 laps straight through, no scheduled cautions, no scheduled pit stops. Since the pit area is on the outside of the racetrack, will be for emergencies only. You know, if you have a flat tire, if you need to make some repairs, you need to make some emergency chassis adjustments, you will see the entrance to pit road right there at the top of turn number 2, right where this camera is located, as a matter of fact. So we'll see emergency pitting only here tonight. Don't forget, folks, visit arcaracing.com on Monday, 3 o'clock Eastern time, to see who we pick for tonight's Reese's Sweet Move of the race. Based on this race last year, we're going to have several quality candidates throughout the course of the next 150 laps. I cannot get over it, folks. 98 years young, Herschel McGriff here tonight, getting the engines fired. How great was Herschel over the course of his career? Certainly worthy of his induction into the NASCAR Hall of Fame. Was in the very first Southern 500 at Darlington Raceway back in 1949. So great to have Herschel with us. Of course, his daughter Shelly, part of the track management group here at Tucson Raceway. Good to have him with us as we get set to go racing here tonight. So Cole Denton electing the outside lane for the initial start. That'll put Trevor Huddleston down to the inside of row 1. Keep an eye on that second row. Mason Massey picked up the win at Kevin Harvick's Kern Raceway to start the season. He's got the pole sitter from that race at Kern. Jade Avedizian back in the Central Coast Racing number 13. Of course, Jade made her first start with this team at the season finale last year at Phoenix Raceway. Team owner Kelly Souza very, very high on young Jade Avedizian. I think we're going to see a lot out of that combination here tonight. Robbie Keneally alongside Haley Deegan back there in row 3. Pace car will be headed to the infield. Mark Honkamp bringing it down to the infield. Now under the control of Cole Denton bringing him to the line for the first time in his ARCA Menards Series West career. You know what time it is, folks. It's my favorite time of the night. It is time to rock, roll, and rumble here in Tucson. And we are picking up right where we left off last year. 2 and 3 wide racing throughout the field. Trevor Huddleston with the advantage at the drop of the green flag, but here comes Cole Denton rolling the outside lane. He's going to take the lead down into turns 3 and 4. Denton will lead lap 2. So it is really hard here in the early going. These tires are as fresh as they're going to be. They've got as much grip as they're going to have, and you want to get out there and run hard. But I'll tell you what, right now, tire management going to be a big part of what we're going to see. I think we're already seeing Trevor Huddleston and the rest of the field dropping in to tire management mode. Meanwhile, Cole Denton, he has got the pedal to the metal, and he is stretching that advantage over Huddleston, Keneally, and Avidizian. We saw a lot of comers and goers in this race last year as drivers saving those general tires to get to lap 150, and I think we're going to see some of that here tonight. Look at this on the charge. Quinn Davis already picked up a handful of positions. She's racing her way up, knocking on the door of a top 10 position here in the early going. Caution flag, looks like. Nope, I got that wrong, folks. I thought the caution flag was waving at the start-finish line. Incorrect call right there. Green flag still out. Some of these cars are going to act like they're under caution as they're in tire management mode here in the early going, but green flag is still out. Jade Avidizian right there has maintained that 4th position, and here comes to the inside Tyler Tomasi to the inside of Mia Lovell there. Jade started on the pole at Kevin Harvick's Kern Raceway, finished in the 8th position. First time we've seen her in the Todd and Kelly Souza number 13 for Central Coast Racing. Look at this, Tomasi looking to the bottom side. A couple of different strategies right here. Tomasi wants to get to the front of the field while Trevor Huddleston just kind of wants to get those tires to lap 100 so he can race the final 50 laps. Here comes Julian DaCosta to the bottom side of the racetrack. DaCosta going to pick up some positions. Here is one driver that is not in tire management mode. Neither of these drivers are right now. The 2 Jans Racing teammates. Cole Denton in the lead, Robbie Keneally in 2nd. Tyler Tomasi in the Strike Mamba Racing, number 51, has moved up into 3rd. Here's the battle, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th on the racetrack. Huddleston has faded back to 4th. Mia Lovell there in the 15, looking to the inside. There's Jade Avidizian in the 13. She's in the outside lane. There's Haley Deegan in the 16. Columbia Bank colors on the number 16 car for Bill McAnally Racing this weekend. Right now, this group of cars, I think, very content to maintain this pace, not overextend those tires. There's a reason why we put manager tires twice on the keys to victory here tonight. It is that important. Last year in this race, we saw that number 13 car driven by Jade Avidizian tonight. Last year, Tanner Reif drove that car to victory early in the race, just like we see right now. Todd Souza, one of the team owners, in a team car, jumped out front and almost put a lap on that number 13 car. And as soon as Souza got to the back bumper, Tanner got back on the button and made up all that time. Had not abused his tires at all. Saved those tires for the second half of the race. Meanwhile, everybody else who was trying to keep Todd Souza in their sights did use up their tires. Very interesting strategy that the Central Coast Racing team kind of employed here last year. One was a rabbit, one was kind of the tortoise, you know, the old tortoise and the hare story. Tyler Reif, excuse me, Tanner Reif playing the tortoise here last year. And, it ended up sending him to victory lane. Let's see if one of these tortoises will find their way to victory lane. Right now, Cole Denton playing the rabbit out in front of the field. He is really stretching it out. There is a good look at Mason Massey coming into tonight as the ARCA Menards West points leader. 6 points in hand over Trevor Huddleston, the reigning series champion. Mason picking up his first career West victory and his first career West start. And I'll tell you what, after the year that Bill McAnally Racing had in 2025, it was great to see that team back in victory lane. Career win 101 for the Bill McAnally Racing organization a month back at Kevin Harvick's Kern Raceway. And right now, and teammate Haley Deegan running nose to tail, doing exactly what they need to do right now, keeping that car pointed in the right direction, not abusing those tires. As we are already now 20 laps into the Tucson 150. It's a good battle on the racetrack. Everybody just trying to find a place to hop in line so they can ride and get to that second half here tonight. The field streams off of turn 2 and down the backstretch on a beautiful night for racing here in Tucson, Arizona. There is Cole Denton right now. Cole stretching out that advantage. There is Robbie Keneally. Robbie in that #1 car. We're going to see Robbie in action the next couple of weekends in the ARCA Menards Series. Team Motor Jan Qualkenbush filing an entry for the races at Kansas Speedway and Talladega Super Speedway. As here comes Robbie Keneally now reeling in the teammate move. Robbie Keneally to the top of the leaderboard. Keneally overtaking Cole Denton here with 127 laps yet to go. Robbie Keneally, one of those guys that really likes to go to school on previous races and race history, and had a chance to chat with him about that strategy that the Central Coast Racing team used to go to victory lane here last year. And you know, I got to tell you, I thought that Robbie was going to buy into it a little more than perhaps he is right now. But right now, that one car looking good down on the bottom side of the racetrack. He and Cole Denton having a good time swapping the lead back and forth here as we approach lap 25 here in the Tucson 150. Been a tough start to the season for Robbie Keneally. Some transmission issues kept him from what was brewing to be a top 5 there at Kevin Harvick's Kern Raceway. We saw at the top of the show he had that impressive power slide through turns 1 and 2 at Phoenix Raceway. Did recover from that to race his way back up to a 10th place finish. But Robbie certainly one that we thought would be challenging for victories early in the season, and right now he is living up to that as he is tracked down Cole Denton at the front of the field. Actually got up and led a couple of laps there a few moments ago. I think Robbie kind of dropping back into tire management mode after getting a taste of the lead a few laps back. There's our Bounty Rookie Spotlight driver, Gavin Ray, in the #7. Gavin has worked his way past Mason Massey in the #19. There's Quinn Davis and Joe Nava's #77. Quinn has raced her way up into the top 12. There's David Smith in the 05. Here we talk about all the youngsters in the field. Well, David's certainly young at heart. 3 career ARCA Menards Series top 10s. Best finish so far this season, 18th in the last race there at Phoenix Raceway. Look at that, there's Memphis Villarreal taking over the 4th position. It's been a really good start to this race for the Strike Mamba Racing team. Tyler Tomasi in the 51 sitting in 3rd. Memphis racing his way up into the top 5. And I'll tell you what, folks, I know it looks good, but right now I think even though those guys are sitting there running 2 and 3 wide. I think that group of cars still in heavy tire conservation mode. The exact opposite of what these two are doing, stretching out the lead. Robbie Keneally to the inside one more time. Cole Denton, here comes Tyler Tomasi in that 51 car. Tyler trying to make it a three-way battle for the lead up at the front of the field. Gavin Ray dipping the left side tires down on the flat of the racetrack there as he looks to the inside of Mia Lovell in the 15. Oh, I love the strategy aspect of this race here at Tucson Speedway, folks. Got a couple of cars really out there running hard, trying to stretch out that advantage, and this group of race cars right here looks like the entire field. Looks like we're drafting at Daytona. These guys all nose to tail. But these cars, this group of cars, I think still in serious tire conservation mode as we crest the lap 35 mark. Still clean and green here at Tucson Speedway. Look at this, David Smith looking racy. He's to the bottom side of the racetrack, making a three-wide move to the inside of Quinn Davis. So move David Smith up into the top 10. That could be a Reese's Sweet Move of the Race candidate right there. Don't forget, log on to arcaracing.com Monday, 3 o'clock Eastern time to see who we pick tonight's Reese's Sweet Move of the Race winner. And David Smith, he's looking for more. He's to the inside of Jade Avedizian. David Smith looking really racy in that number 05 car. David's going to get the most out of those tires while he has them. That is for sure. Smith now looking to the inside of Mia Lovell. Move David Smith up into the 7th position. He has got Gavin Ray on his sights as well. Let's take a look at that replay. Look at David Smith. Going to make it 3 wide down the backstretch. Impressive move by the veteran, David Smith there in that 05 car. Love to see David out there looking racy. And look at this. He is going to move up into the top 5. He's going to jump past Gavin Ray and Trevor Huddleston. David Smith on the move here in the early going. And I'll tell you what, the opposite side of this strategy, folks, is you lose too much ground while you're in tire conservation mode. If we don't have a caution flag, you're still going to have to find a way to make up that ground and get back up there with the Cole Dentons, Robbie Keneally's, and Tyler Tomasi's of the world. And right now, this race has a long green flag feel to it. There is a look up at the front of the field. Cole Denton continuing to hold on to that advantage. There's Robbie Keneally in the 1. Here comes Tyler Tomasi and Memphis Villarreal in the 72. Look at this battle on 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Robbie Keneally's feeling some heat now from Tyler Tomasi, Memphis Villarreal, and how about that run for Dave Smith? There is Tomasi to the bottom side of Robbie Keneally. He's going to bring David Smith along with, and here comes David Smith to the inside of Tyler Tomasi. David Smith wants to get up there and lead some laps here tonight, folks. That is what he is here to do. What a fun little nugget we have here as David Smith reeling in the front of the field. David started 17th of 17 here tonight, and he is on the charge to the front of the field. I thought Tyler Tomasi was going to be the guy we were going to have to keep an eye on, but here comes David Smith in that Shockwave Marine Suspension Systems number 05. And look at this, we're stacking them up 2 and 3 wide. Eric Johnson Jr. in the number 5. He was a factor in that 3 wide battle for the win last year, as was that 13 car. There's Jade Avedizian in the 13. Will Robinson in his ARCA Menards West debut. Julian DaCosta there in the 25. Julian just looking to get to the checkered flag here tonight. He has had a start to the season, swept up in accidents not of his doing at both Kern and Phoenix. Look at this, battle on for the lead. Here comes David Smith in the 0-5. Smith will lead him across to complete lap 49. First time ever in his ARCA Menards Series West career, David Smith is your leader. Oh, I love it, folks. This is awesome. Great stuff. The veteran out of British Columbia charging his way through the 17-car starting lineup to take the lead within the first 50 laps here at Tucson. And look at this. He is going to catch the tail of the field. Some of these really good race cars, folks. This is where it got interesting last year. When Todd Souza caught the tail of the field, that was kind of the signal for some of these race cars to stop saving tires. And I think we're about to see that right here. If these guys and gals have anything in the tank, they're going to want to stay on the lead lap. And look at this. We're going to start getting racy. We're stacking them up 2 and 3 wide. Eric Johnson to the inside. Look at this. Here comes Mason Massey. He's going to try to thread the needle between Eric Reed. There's Jade Avedizian in the 13. They still have to, you still need to keep that big picture in sight. You want to get to lap 150, but you don't want to fall off that lead lap, and they're in danger of doing so. There is David Smith, the leader, has caught the tail end of the field. And you know, if they run 2 and 3 wide, that's not going to give David Smith many options to try to work his way past. Eric Johnson Jr. leading this freight trade. He's got Jade Avedizian to his right elbow. Will Robinson and Mason Massey. Massey again trying to sneak into that gap between Eric Johnson Jr. and Jade Avedizian. Andrew Chapman in the 55. He has got the leader right on the back bumper. Very interesting stuff here, folks. Gonna stack them 3 wide. There's Julian DaCosta to the top of the racetrack. Mason Massey in that 19, still working that middle lane. Johnson Jr. going to drop to the back of this pack. David Smith still leading in that 0-5 car. He has caught the tail end of the field, and the tail end of the field is all cars that you would have expected to be at the front of the field. Look at this. We're going to stack them 4 wide down into turns 3 and 4. Eric Johnson Jr. to the bottom. Mason Massey, Eric Reed, Jade Avedizian. We're going to, how about this? 2 lanes of 3 wide. This is really great stuff, folks. Will Robinson to the bottom. Eric Reed to the middle. Julian DaCosta, the 25 car. To the top side. That is the second row of 3 wide racing. And there's David Smith in that 0-5 continuing to show the way. Ooh, the 70 car, Will Robinson off the pace. Looks like he may have had a left front tire go down. The question is, can he get it back? No, he can't. Caution flag going to come out. That's exactly what this group of race cars wanted to see, and that is not what this young man wanted to see. Tough break for Will Robinson in that number 70, and there's the lettering rubbed off that left front tire. He had made some contact with someone somewhere and apparently did some damage to the left front of that car, and he has come to a stop down in turn 3. That will put us under caution for the first time here tonight. And wow, what a race It has been. We're going to step away for a quick break. When we come back, we'll reset the field, get set to go back racing live here at Tucson. More developments with cars that we expected to be contending for the win. Jade Avedizian off the racetrack. Jade has a flat right front tire. I may want to venture the guess that the 70 and the 13 may have gotten together somewhere. Wow, tough break for two cars that we thought would be in contention to win here tonight. Will's going to get a shove back to the pits. Jade off of the racetrack back in the pit area. And again, just like every other race, folks, caution laps do count here tonight. So Michael Munoz and that team going to work, and looks like that would be a left front flat on the 13 car, just based on what I can see right there. So Michael Munoz and the team working to get that car on the jack to try to get her back out on the racetrack. group right here has conserved their tires. Do they have enough tires left, and do they have enough time left to get back to the front of the field? Here is now a three-way battle for the lead. Cole Denton in the 71 started on the Suchi PowerPex pole earlier tonight. He has led most of the night here tonight, but he has got company. There is Memphis Villarreal in the 72, Quinn Davis in the 77. There's Gavin Ray, our Bounty Rookie Spotlight driver, in the mix as well. Top four cars now running nose to tail with under 40 laps to go. There's the gap. They've got about the entire distance of turns 1 and 2 on 5th, 6th, 7th, and back. Denton going to look to the inside of David Smith. Memphis Villarreal looking to the outside. He's going to get blocked in. Ooh, he made an aggressive move to get to the bottom of the racetrack there. Slammed the door shut on Quinn Davis. We saw a lot of give and take earlier tonight. It is now ask no quarter, give no quarter as the caution flag going to come out for the second time here tonight. And that's why the 51 car sideways here at the start-finish line. Tyler Tomasi getting turned sideways. Tyler was sitting in the 4th position. Second career ARCA Menards West appearance for Tyler Tomasi, finished 33rd a few weeks back at Phoenix Raceway. So that's going to give us an opportunity to catch our breath and lock and load for the dash to the checkered flag here at Tucson Speedway. See if we can see what happened to the 51. And as I anticipated, there was some contact there. He was in the midst of a battle with Eric Johnson Jr. That was a battle for position. One more look at it here. Tyler to the bottom side of the racetrack. The car washes up just a touch, and he gets into the side, and around he goes. Tough way to end what had been a pretty solid run for Tyler Tomasi. So, race fans, we saw some living trivia with us earlier tonight with Herschel McGriff on site giving the command to fire engines. Until tonight, only one ARCA Menards West race has ever been held on April 11th. Where was it and who won? Now, I can't take credit for this trivia question. My good friend Vincent Delforge, I saw him post this on Facebook earlier today. Vincent, a huge historian when it comes to ARCA Menards Series West information. I'm going to take your word for it, Vincent. If I find out that we have indeed had several other races, I'm kidding. Vincent's pretty rock solid, but I always want all the credit and none of the blame. Where was it and who won the only other race on April 11th? I'll give you a hint. It was back in 2015. At Irwindale Speedway, Chris Eggleston was the winner. Only other time this series has ever raced on April 11th. That's a pretty fascinating little nugget, if you ask me. Still circulating under the caution flag, only the second caution flag of the night. Here's some upcoming ARCA Menards Series platform action. ARCA East and West, both in action on May the 2nd. ARCA Night in America coming your way live here on Flow Racing on May 2nd. The ARCA Menards East in combination with the ARCA Menards National Series at Toledo Speedway on May 16th. That race will be live on FS1. And then back to Flow Racing for the next couple of weekends with ARCA Menards West at Colorado National, and my friends up at Tri-City Raceway. They had the Car Store West in action up there tonight. Absolutely packed house for that race. If you want to go to that race at Tri-City Raceway, I would get your tickets now, folks. Lacey and the group up there at Tri-City Raceway doing a great job. Next event for the ARCA Menards platform, live on Flow, the doubleheader ARCA Night in America coming up. ARCA East and West, Nashville and Shasta. More information, both of those races at arcaracing.com and flowracing.com. Folks, we're coming back to green. It is going to get crazy. I think we're going to see that group from row 4 on back try to bully their way to the front of the field in very short order. 30 laps to go here at Tucson. And here comes Trevor Huddleston, Eric Johnson Jr., Robbie Keneally, and the rest. They are on the charge. Look at Quinn Davis in that 77 car looking sporty on this restart. Here comes Eric Johnson Jr. in the 5. That's right where we saw him last year with just a couple of laps remaining, working the bottom side of the racetrack on a charge to the front. Here comes Robbie Keneally in the number 1. Robbie has gone back and rewatched that race last year, despite the fact that he went up and grabbed the lead here early in the race. Robbie has been in tire conservation mode up until now. Robbie, a previous Menards West winner, going to up at All-American Speedway last fall. He's going to stack them 3 wide down in turns 1 and 2. Quinn Davis in the middle of the Hornets' nest here. She's going to try to stick the nose of that 77 car in the middle. She can't make it stick. Gavin Ray in the 7 car getting a little squirrely. What are we going to stack them 4 wide there off of turn 2? I thought Gavin Ray was thinking about it there for a half a second. Quinn Davis looking really racy. She's going to drift up the racetrack. Memphis Villarreal going even higher on the racetrack there to avoid contact. All right, Eric Johnson Jr. has moved up into 2nd. Robbie Keneally into 3rd. Do they have enough time and enough tire to track down Cole Denton at the front of the field? Cole has stretched out about a half a straightaway advantage on this group. Here comes Mason Massey. Here's Haley Deegan in the 16. Will this gamble pay off? Here's a good look at Eric Johnson Jr. 7 career top 5 finishes, including a career best right here at Tucson Speedway. 2nd place last year by a fender to Tanner Reif in that 3-way battle for the win. Just fantastic performances tonight by a lot of drivers in this field. There is a good look at Eric Reed in that 66 car. Eric has had a great run so far tonight. Currently sitting in the 7th position. Let's take a look at what happened to Mason Massey a lap or 2 back. Keep an eye on that blue and yellow number 19 right there, getting up out of the groove and scuffing that outside wall here coming to the start-finish line. These composite bodies have a lot of give in them, but I'll tell you what, you knock those tires just the wrong way and knock a valve stem out, that could shorten your night in a big hurry. So hopefully everything is still good on that 19 car. There's Memphis Villarreal looking to the middle as he threaded the needle. David Smith in that 05. David got up and led a bunch of laps here earlier tonight, but I'll tell you what, he absolutely overextended those tires. That move by Memphis Villarreal right there could be a Reese's Sweet Move of the Race candidate. Log on to arcaracing.com Monday, 3 o'clock Eastern time to see who we pick for tonight's Reese's Sweet Move of the Race. The Bill McAnally Racing team is about to go to battle for position. Haley Deegan wants to get back up into the top 10. She's going to try to stick it 3 wide. 3 female drivers nose to tail right there. Quinn Davis, Haley Deegan, Mia Lovell. All trying to work their way past Mason Massey in that 19 car. And I think Mason's fighting some handling issues after getting up there and scuffing that outside wall. As we are now inside of 20 laps to go, 16 to go this time around for Cole Denton in the 71. So the tire conservation gamble has paid off for some, but it does not look like it's going to pay off perhaps for the Bill McAnally Racing teammates. Deegan now sitting in 9th. But she is nearly a third of a track behind Cole Denton at the front of the field, and not a lot of time to get there. Meanwhile, Memphis Villarreal, the opposite side of that equation. Memphis got up there and ran his way through the field, and he has dropped back now into that 9th position with just a dozen circuits yet to go here at Tucson. There's Mia Lovell working the bottom side of the racetrack in the number 15. Mia looking to get to the checkered flag. Pick up her first top 10 finish of the season. Mia currently sitting in the 10th position as we come to just 11 laps to go. We'll jump back up to the front of the field. There's a good look at Cole Denton. Here comes Trevor Huddleston now. Huddleston has worked his way past Eric Johnson Jr., one of the leading Bounty rookie candidates, who has started from the pole. He is going to feel some heat now. The final 9 laps from the reigning series champion, Trevor Huddleston, in the 50. Does Trevor have enough time to get there? Denton has closed in on the tail end. There's the 51 car, Tyler Tomasi. Tyler spent a bunch of the night up in the top 5. Now just 8 laps to go. Denton using the bottom side of the racetrack. Meanwhile, Trevor Huddleston working the middle lane of the racetrack. Huddleston closing the gap ever so slightly. Now 7 laps to go. Does Huddleston have enough time to get back to the front of the field? Denton with a seemingly comfortable advantage as we come to 5 to go this time around. Right now, Cole Denton wanting to go to the finish with no interruptions from the caution flag. He's got a couple of cars between him and Trevor Huddleston. Here he is now looking to the inside of Quinn Davis, and there's Will Robinson in the number 70. Denton continues to put cars between himself and Trevor Huddleston. Now 3 to go this time around. Huddleston is closing the gap. The big question is, will he have enough time? Coming to 2 to go this time around. Cole Denton in just his 3rd career ARCA Menards West appearance. Into turns 3 and 4. Should be looking at the white flag this time around. Joe Contreras with the white flag in hand. Cole Denton on his final lap down the backstretch. No pressure from behind. Into turns 3 and 4. He started on the pole. He is off of turn 4, looking at the checkered. Give it to Cole Denton here at Tucson. The Jans Racing Team going back to victory lane. What an impressive performance from this young man, just 15 years of age. Cole Denton made the statement in qualifying, backed it up in the race, picking up his first career series victory in just his 3rd career series start. This young man out of Pascagoula, Mississippi. And I wonder if my friend Vincent Delforge can tell me how many West Series winners have come from the state of Mississippi. I'm going to guess, without doing any research at all, the number has now increased to 1. That's going to be my guess. We'll find out, I'm sure, later on in the week. But what an impressive performance by Cole Denton here tonight. Tire conservation, not a thing for this young man. He went out and took it to him tonight. Trevor Huddleston coming home in second. Another great run for Eric Johnson Jr. in third. Robbie Keneally coming home in fourth. And our Bounty Rookie Spotlight driver, great run tonight for Gavin Ray, coming home in fifth. We are going to send it down trackside. Cole Denton will climb out, and we will hear from a very happy winner down in Victory Lane.
Could you set this on the top, please? Thank you. There we go. Hold up.
And now getting ready to get out of your car, tonight's winner of the Tucson 150 in the ARCA Menards Series West. Getting his necktie on, it's Cole Denton. Man, oh man, Cole. First off, what are the emotions behind your first career win in the NASCAR Regional Series?
I can't believe it. This is so amazing. Thank you to Jan's Racing Team and my crew chief, Mr. Chris Greedy, and my spotter, Mr. Ron Norman. This is all possible because of them. Thank you to everyone and my mom and dad. I can't believe it. First pole, first win, third ever ARCA race.
Hey, that's a pretty huge accomplishment. You came up through Bandolero and Legend Racing. This car is so much different than those two platforms. Can you talk about the work that's gone into getting ready into being able to deliver this performance today?
As many laps as I can get. I mean, they've done a great job coaching me, and my driver coach, Robbie Keneally, he's done a great job, and just everyone. I can't believe this is so awesome.
Hey, and talk about that last restart. You know, you had led a lot of the laps out there. You were running a pretty decent pace, but you did back off enough to conserve some tire. What were your thoughts on that final restart?
The restart was pretty easy as long as I spin the tires, but that race, it was kind of boring until the last, 30 laps, because it felt like we were going under caution speed.
And what did you think of Tucson Speedway, and what does it mean to get your first win out here in the West Series?
I love this track, and when I showed up, there's a track that I raced back home on the East Coast. It's at Lanier Raceplex, and it's so much like this. You round the corner, you're turning the entire time. This track is so fun, and the lanes are just amazing. I love it.
Hey, well, folks, give it up for your winner, the youngest driver in today's field, Cole Denton.
Congratulations. Hell of a job, buddy. There's Robbie. Get in there, hug him.
Is he a good driver?
We're down here with your second place finisher, Trevor Huddleston. A great run out here tonight, your best finish of the season so far, coming off your championship season. What did it mean to get this finish, and what do you think you could have saved a little bit more? I know you were putting down some solid laps in the closing laps there, but what did it mean to come home with P2 tonight?
You know, last year taught me a lot was that you can't win them all, and you don't have to win them all. So this is a win for us. We came out here with a plan. We stuck to it, and we were just a little bit short. Cole nailed it. Great job. Congratulations to him. You know, everyone wants to win, right? But I'm still happy with the P2. The car's in one piece, so we could get it to Shasta and get a little bit better. But all in all, great weekend. High Point Racing, Race Car Factory, Robert Yates Racing Engines, everyone who helps brings this thing together. You know, it's a team effort. So that was a team race right there. It took a lot of communication and a lot of chaos, and we'll take this when we can, and you never know. We're going to go on to Shasta and improve on spot.
And we know you've competed out here at Tucson Speedway quite a bit. How do you feel about the track and the tire conservation strategy that it brings about in these races?
I'll tell you what, we're kind of calling it like our Daytona, right? You know, we go to a lot of racetracks, it's 150 lap qualifiers, and you're racing as hard as you can from start to finish. So it's kind of cool to come to tracks like this where you really gotta, it's not about just being the fastest, you know what I'm saying? There's more to it than just going out and having raw speed. And, you know, that showed tonight. I think a lot of the cars out here didn't have to be fast, but it just took a brain, and there were so many people contending. It was super awesome to see David Smith up there leading. It really is a good racetrack. It gets exciting at times. It's just whether or not everything falls in your place. So, like I said, family deal. Thank you all to my family watching at home, all my family here, my entire crew, and to all the fans for coming out. Thank you guys so much.
Hey, well, thank you so much, and congratulations on the podium finish.
Thank you, guys.
Now down here with your third place finisher, Eric Johnson Jr. I know last year the runner-up finish, you were hoping for one spot better and up one spot worse, but still on the podium to close out the night in your best run of the season so far. What are the emotions at the end of tonight's race?
Yeah, you know, I can't help but feel a little disappointed. I think everybody here in our team knows we're capable of winning if we play our cards right. So just disappointed, kind of putting that on my shoulders. Guess I need to do a little better job at saving, but just really grateful for this whole Jerry Pitts Racing team, Pacific Office Automation for making this possible, all of our sponsors, Sherwin-Williams, Paul Davis Restoration, Valleyscapes. You know, it's a really cool opportunity, unique race out here like this, but wish we were 2 spots better.
And you were right in the mix of everything near the back of the pack there during the saving runs. What was the chaos like as everyone wanted to save as much as possible, but no one, you know, a whole lot of side-by-side action through that traffic?
Yeah, you know, it's a big guessing game. You know, I think everyone learned a lot from last year, and so everybody was a little bit on the same strategy. So if they were going to save, it was how can you save better? And we tried our best at it, gave it our best go there again, but just didn't get enough.
Hey, well, folks, give it up for your third place finisher, Eric Johnson Jr.